Hi, welcome to this week's episode of Cooking with OB. This week we're going to do a little bit of a treat. We're going to cook up some homemade pizza. So to make two pizzas, what you'll need is 70 grams of ground flour, 70 grams of plain flour, 100 grams of Greek yogurt, some baking powder, 100 grams of tomato sauce or passata, 100 grams of spinach, 100 grams of grated mozzarella, and 200 grams of mushrooms. So preheat your oven to 180, and that'll be ready for later on when we need it. And of course, before we do anything else, just wash our hands. So first things we're going to mix are our flours. They can go straight in, and our baking powder. You only need half a teaspoon of baking powder, just straight in there. Then give that a mix. And finish off by making a well in the middle. So make a little hole in there like this. And in there, we're going to add our Greek yogurt straight in the middle. And then we're going to get our hands dirty. Get your hands in and mix it all around in there. And this is what's going to create our dough. So just keep mixing it around, letting the yogurt soak up the flour. Don't worry about it if you get it all over you, because you can just keep it going and just keep mixing. And then eventually we end up with this very pliable, sticky dough ball in the bottom of our bowl. So once that's all mixed and we've got our sticky dough, next thing we're going to do is sprinkle the board with some more flour, get it out, and then we're going to knead it. Now don't worry if you get it all over your hands, because this bit, as you add some flour and knead the dough, then that will take the excess off your hands anyway. So we're going to knead it just to really mix and stretch it. Best way to do that, as you see here, folding it and then just pushing the knuckles in. If you're finding as you go it's sticky in the middle, just add some of that extra flour just to stop it sticking too much. A bit more flour there. Be free just to add a bit more if you're running out and it's still getting sticky. You can just put that in there and keep going. Cool, and then we keep kneading until we end up with a dough that we can work with and ultimately we can roll out. So this is looking pretty good right now, so I think we'll call it there and we'll start to roll this out. Cool, so once we've got our dough to this point, remember we're making two pizzas, so we're just going to split that dough and put half to one side for now and work with the other half. At this point, if you want to sprinkle your board again with a bit more flour, that's fine. And we grab our rolling pin, or in my case, a heavy bottle full of water. We're just going to roll our dough out across our board. Again, keep adding flour to it so it's not sticking to your bottle. And we're trying to get this real thin. That will mean our pizza cooks a little quicker and that it goes a little bit more crispy and really cooks in the middle. Now, don't worry if it's not going into a perfect pizza shape and it's that round, it really doesn't matter. These are our own creations and it can be whatever shape you want it to be, or in my case, whatever shape it ends up being. And another positive for getting this really thin is obviously we'll have a bigger base and therefore more pizza at the end of the day. There's nothing better than getting more pizza. Cool, I think I'm going to call it there. That's a pretty good base. Cool, so once we've got it to this stage, we're ready to pop it in the frying pan and fry it from each side. Top tip, moving your base, wrap it over your bottle, whoops, and then we can pick it up nice and easily and then just stick it straight in. And in the pan we go. If you go quick, you can just spread it out, and that's going to cook for 2 minutes on each side, just to start the cooking process, but not to fully cook it. And then after 2 minutes, we're just going to flip it over and give it another 2 minutes on the other side. So because we're cooking this at home, we've obviously got it going in the frying pan. But if you are going to cook this out camping, out in the desert, the mountains, wherever you might be, fantastic way of cooking this is over the fire. And you can get a bread pan, which is a big cast iron plate. Put that right over the fire, put this on top, exactly the same method, 2 minutes each side, and then sort your toppings. It will be ideal. So while we're waiting for our pizza base to cook, we can ready our spinach for when it's going to go on top. Dead easy. All we're going to do is put that in a colander and then tip some boiling water over it so that it wilts the spinach. From there, just make sure it's drained. And rinse with a bit of cold water so it's not quite so hot for you. Give it a little squeeze before you fully take it out. You drain that out of your hands. Now then we're going to put that on the board with a quick chop. And then put it back on our plate, ready for when we need it. Easy. And now our base should be finished. There we have it, our bread base ready for its topping. Sweet, so once our base is ready, we can add our toppings. And we're going to take half of these toppings, because remember we're making 2 pizzas out of these ingredients. So we'll take some of our passata there and just use the back of your spoon to spread it over your base till you get it nice and even and covering all those edges and all throughout the middle. And depending on how far to the edge you like your pizza, you can spread it all the way or just leave a little bit of a gap. It's completely up to you, it's your creation. After that, of course, some cheese, again half of that, and just spread it over your pizza there. If you are a cheese lover and you want to add a little bit more, then go ahead and just increase the amounts that you'll need. I'm going to follow that with our spinach that we cut up earlier and just spread that over the top here. And finally, half of our mushrooms. Now again, these are the toppings we're using today, just the cheese, mushrooms and spinach. But if you want to go ahead and add anything else on there, maybe you want some turkey ham or some some peppers, some olives, it really is completely up to you. Once you've got your toppings on, you're ready then to add it to the oven. Cool, so to put it in the oven, I'm just going to transfer it to a baking tray. And we're going to put this in for 8 to 10 minutes, just until it's golden brown and all our cheese is nicely melted. So after our 10 minutes, and when it's brown and our cheese is melted, we can take it out. And having let it cooled for a minute, we can transfer it onto a chopping board and then cut it up. So, hope you've had fun following along and cooking this up. As we've said throughout the video, this is a great dish for cooking at home or a fantastic meal for out camping, and it's super easy. Now, I'm going to go and enjoy this. Hope you do too. Till next time, stay safe. Ma salama.